Welcome back to another episode of the Artist Access. I am your host, Siraj Rich King. I'm Puwakin out in the Hotep. And as you see with me today, I have a phenomenal king with me today. I have an author with me today. He goes by the name of Calvin Denson.
Calvin Denson.
And man, I met the brother like a week before Thanksgiving. He was out promoting his books. And I said, dude, you got to come on my show, bro. We got to talk about this. You know what I'm talking about? And so here we are today, man, with Calvin Denson. And the brother has a plethora of books, man. You feel me?
I have a lot of books.
Yeah. So look, bro, you got to take me back to the beginning of this journey of you becoming an author. Like, what inspired you to want to write books?
Well, first of all, I have a gift from God in writing. I'm an author of 15 books, and I write 3 books at a time.
Wow.
However, I was just coming home from work in 1998, and something popped in my head to write a book. And I'm like, here I am today. That's just how I started. I taught myself how to write from Kroger's grocery store. Like every time I had a question of writing, I would go back to the Kroger's. And I go to the Kroger's by my house to the book section. Like how you make 4 people talk at one time in a book. Find a book and look up 4 people talking, seen how they did it, and go home and did it in my book. That's how I did everything. That's how I learned how to write. So it's amazing when I'm going to speak at these schools, high schools, and universities on writing. I'll be like, man, I'm telling y'all about Kroger's. But I don't tell them that though.
Right. And the majority of your books are kids' books, right?
No, sir. I have, the majority of books I've written are kid books, but by being that I write 3 books at a time, every time I write a novel, I'm going to write 2 kid books. But my published books that I have out right now are 6 kid books and 5 novels.
Okay. So what made you want to tap into the kid books?
The kid books, well, I'm a novelist first. Right. I wrote my first novel, Autumn, and my mom was passing away when I wrote my first book. Mm-hmm. That's my love, that's my heart, the only book she was allowed to see me write. But after she was a kindergarten teacher and her whole life was dedicated to the youth, so after 4 years of crying and getting it out my system, I was like, you know what, Mama, 52 years old, it's too young for you to pass away. Next man up, I'm the next man, because she had only boys. Hey, let's get it. So I picked up the kid books.
Right. And you said you were a novelist first.
Yes, I was a novelist.
So what type of novels are you writing, man?
As of right now, I'm writing a novel called War with Satan, which is the sequel to my novel Grace. This is my novel Grace. It's about a preacher who dies and go to hell, and in hell he preached the gospel. I spoke at 2 universities for this book. It's like watching a movie, and I'm writing a sequel right now as we speak.
You said like watching a movie.
Mm-hmm. War with Satan. That's part 2. And,
okay.
Autumn's Love is a spicy, funny story of a girl getting married while also being pregnant with twins. A lot of women are getting this one for their book clubs. It's the roller coaster book inspired by the movie Best Girls Trip. Mm-hmm. And Tree and Life Seasons Do Change is my bestseller. It's the closest to my story. And it's about you can't change for no one else but yourself. Tree and Life Seasons Do Change, My Dad Says Yes, and Mommy Has Eyes in the Back of Her Head is my best-selling books.
Mm-hmm. And how long you been doing this so far now?
January 1st, 2009, I started writing books. I've been my first book came out in August 2010, but I've been a full-time author for 4 years.
Wow, man, that's what's up, bro. So you say that one of them books is like you said it's like a movie.
It's like watching a movie.
Wow. So look, I asked that because you ever thought about writing movie scripts?
That's what I haven't tapped into that yet, but I know eventually I will. All I got to do is see a movie script. I can mimic. I'm a very big and I have a gift from God. If I see a movie script, I catch it and I can write a movie script.
Because I told them my next guest, we do movies. Mm-hmm. And I'm an actor and a filmmaker myself, so we could use a nice script writer. You know what I'm talking about?
I can write a good script too.
Yeah. We're going to have to see what you can do, bro.
All right.
Like if I give you an idea about something you think you could bring it to life?
I could bring it to life.
Yeah.
Yeah, and add that spice in it.
Yeah. That's what's up. That's your phone? Mm-hmm. That's my tablet, huh?
Yeah. That's yours.
So,
my son got it.
Right. So, and the latest is these 2 are the latest books.
My latest, I have another novel for 10 and up. It's called The Perfect Eight, and it's about sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. You never lose. The only L you catch is a learning L. That novel is for ages 10 and up, inspired by the movie Stand By Me. I don't know if you ever seen that movie.
Yeah, that's my movie.
But that was a good, wholesome movie with white kids in it, so I wanted to write a good, wholesome book with black kids in it. And actually, the middle schools are really doing well with it, and I'm in talks with a district right now to put it in the district for the middle schoolers, so be praying for me on that. But as far as my kid books, I have Mommy Has Eyes in the Back of Her Head, and that's Mommy Sees and Knows Everything. You can't get nothing past Mommy. That's my best-selling kid book, along with My Dad Says Yes, which is a fun day with Dad. My Dad Says Yes came out for Father's Day, and Mommy Has Eyes came out for Mother's Day. Why Me is my next best-selling kid book, and it's on bullying. Now, that's my #1 book to read at any school I go to. I read it at high schools, middle schools. I've even read it at juvenile correctional facilities.
Wow. And you said today, before you came over here, you wanted to talk to the kids at the school, right?
Yes, I was at Martin Elementary in Beaumont, Texas today, and I read to the pre-K and kindergarten class, and Mommy Has Eyes in the Back of Her Head, and My Dad Says Yes. And then I did a live interview afterwards on the importance of education and reading.
So how often do you go visit the schools?
I do a lot with the school district. I just read 2 weeks ago, right after I met you, No, right before I met you, I read to over 1,200 kids via Zoom for the pre-K and kindergarten. That was the most kids I ever read to at one time.
Right. That's awesome, man.
So I do a lot with the schools.
Right. That's what's up, bro.
Thank you, sir.
And so you said when you're writing these books, you said you're doing like 3 books at one time. Explain to me this process, my brother.
All right. It sounds like a lot, but it's not. It's being that I'm a novelist first. I do write 3 books at a time, but it's 1 novel and 2 kid books. That's how I'm an author of 15 books, 5 novels, and 10 kid books.
Right.
So, honestly, a kid book takes me, I hate to say it, but like 3 to 6 hours to write. Straight up. So that ain't nothing. So yes, I write 3 books at a time, but the kid books is only 3 to 6 hours of writing. Wow. So the kid books come to me, and actually that was the best decision I ever made was to pick up the kid books, because the kid books makes me an author every day. So being the kid books, that's where it's at right there.
Right.
But I like to be known as a novelist too first, because I could write some stories. I got a bunch of books that I'm finna put out. My next one is War with Satan. That's 2026, and then I got Summer and Fall, The Sunshine and the Moon Glows, A Motherless Child, The Storm That Never Came, and Street Vendor. Those are upcoming stories that I'm gonna be writing in the future. All those books will be written, because every book that I've named is not written yet. However, I know I'm going to write it because the ending is in my head. I have 1 million books in my head that I want to write, but it's not until I get the title and the ending that I know I'm going to write that book, because the book will start writing itself in my head.
Okay. The title and the ending.
Yes, once I get those 2 things, it's a wrap. It's a sealed deal.
That's what's up. That's kind of like when I write my rhymes. For me, once I write the first line, it's over with. You know what I'm talking about?
But see, that's how I do too. I'm going to write the first line, because I'm not a person that don't start and finish.
Yeah.
When I start something, I'm a finish, and that's what we need to be at it more in life. As a people, we got to be finishers. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to put some on. Once I put it on wax, it's finna go down, because I ain't finna not finish nothing.
Right.